Exactly. That's a great way to look at it, sir. Yeah. It's a great way to look at being at the Permian Basin International Oil Show at ECTOR County Coliseum, Odessa, Texas, heart of oil country. If we don't wake up in the morning, America doesn't get to go to work. Pbios Live is brought to you by TD Williams. You know what? I'm not even sure. I can see pipeline repair. I see a whole bunch of stuff that TD Williams said. Thank you so much for sponsoring this year's podcast. I'm blessed to be at my third oil show interviewing folks here. And if you don't know who I am, I'm your host, Keith Stelter, trying to bring a little positive PR to the oil and gas industry, one interview at a time, one subject matter expert at a time, one event at a time. And the gentlemen sitting beside me are doing their best to keep this industry running through regulations, through, PR. I guess you're working on PR. You're doing the same thing, aren't you? Sir, tell everybody who you are.
Hello, my name is Ben Shepard, and I'm the president of the Permian Basin Petroleum Association, a position I've had the honor of holding for about 20 years now.
And, sir, don't be shy. I know you've already done one interview with me, but go ahead and tell everybody in case they didn't see the first one.
Larry Richards. I was the past president. I was the president of last Permian Basin Oil Show. But I've had the honor of knowing Ben for 3 decades and was on the board of PBPA for a long time. And I just think it's such a fantastic organization for our industry and for the Permian. And Ben in particular, he's our honoree for the show this year. And I was absolutely thrilled when he agreed to take a few minutes and speak with you, because his organization does so much. I can't recommend enough for not just, oil companies, how PBPA has historically been looked at, but for manufacturing and service companies that are active in the Permian, becoming a member of PBPA isn't just good for business in terms of the impact they're having positively for the industry, but it's a fantastic opportunity for your employees to meet the decision makers in this industry. And I can't, recommend more highly to become a member of PBPA and join the industry efforts that Ben's doing.
Well, and I'll just add to that, not only learn about it, but be a part of it. Yeah. We have, so what we do, let me start there. What we do is we've been around since 1961. Formed here in Odessa. Most of our members nowadays are Midland Odessa members, but back in the day, the Permian was much more spread out, and companies were in every little small town from Roswell to Carlsbad to Ira Ann, Abilene, et cetera. And, as the industry's consolidated, we our membership has changed, but we've got about 10 different policy committees. So what we try to do is advocate for the industry, whether it's on, railroad commission issues for plugging or bonding or financial assurance, spacing, those kinds of things. Or it could be, these days, you can't stop talking about electricity and electricity demand and generation and transmission and all those things. So we found ourselves in the forefront of that. We have committees that meet. Some meet monthly, some meet, quarterly as needed. But where, company employees populate, we're a member-driven organization, and people allow their employees to come populate our committees and give us the real policy advice. The people that are doing the work need to explain to us so we can put it in plain old simple English for the politicians and the regulators.
Is it more for, the corporate side guys? Is it just for VPs, or is this for salesmen? Is it for the operator out there turning a wrench? Who's your typical member that you target and want to come out?
We are as Larry kind of mentioned, we're a very diverse organization. Yes, we have some top level CEOs. We have VPs. We have a lot of folks turning wrenches that show up, and we have networking events too. So we we'll have the traditional golf tournaments and skeet shoots and those kind of things where we hopefully are doing a good job putting those operators and service providers together so they can make deals and build relationships. And so we really we have lawyers, accountants, those kind of folks too. They're all integral. We're all in this business together, whether you're, a CEO or you're driving a truck. We're all in the oil business out here. We're providing the energy America needs. and we need everybody's advice and help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would just, follow up to that. Say I've seen that personally. They have an annual meeting that has phenomenal attendance. They bring in speakers from all across the industry that have expertise, and then they have panels with industry leaders. But you go to the breakfast, for example, of that, and it's a room packed with 200 people, and you're sitting at an 8-top table, and there's a CEO of a major independent oil company that's sitting at that table. And there's, the guy that runs 3 rigs in Artesia, New Mexico is sitting at that table, who's also a PBPA member. And you've just, and a guy from the wastewater treatment side. But it's such a neat opportunity to meet people from across the industry that otherwise, you just don't get an opportunity like that to network and meet and actually have a conversation with them.
Well, that's right. We didn't have, a decade ago, we didn't really have anybody in the water treatment space, hardly in the industry. And certainly not within PBPA. Now we have quite a few, from some of the bigger guys to a lot of the smaller guys, environmental consultants, those kind of people too. And it's really a diverse, information sharing opportunity that we try to provide.
Is it mostly upstream? Is there midstream? Is there a good mix?
It's probably 2/3 upstream and then about 1/3 midstream, water management, that kind of thing. We don't mess with the downstream. We're focused on the Permian Basin. So.
It's
Texas
funny.
And New Mexico.
Yesterday, I was texting someone and wanted him to come for an interview. He's actually in the back of the room right now, and he mentioned, "Boy, you got to come out to the PA, to the luncheons." And now sitting next to you, I sure do get a front seat to ask all the questions.
You are always welcome, and you can interview folks, our speakers, and we'd love to have you.
How does one find out when the next luncheon? Yeah,
funny you should ask. The next one is tomorrow. But tomorrow, right here on the grounds of the ECTOR County Coliseum, right back
just
here
another
in RG.
reason to come to the PBIOS, everybody. You see everything that's going on here. Like, you got to make your way to Odessa, Texas.
And the folks at Lucky and Schlumberger, we got 2 different groups of cooks, special vittles for everybody. But no, we do about 8 or 9 events a year. Happy to get you a calendar.
Would love it.
Build up for 26.
Would love to join. I've tried there was other associations and stuff that I tried joining in the past. Maybe sometimes they went off the rails and whatever, but the oil and gas industry has been great to me and my family. I've got to see travel the world, and it's, I wouldn't be in the position I am today without oil and gas. So I always try to give back in some sort of way. I even started a nice little charity here in the Permian. I clean up trash. We picked up about 140 tons of trash to date. And, this place is always amazing. I can't speak highly enough of it.
Well, and that's one of the things that the type of efforts that industry folks give back to the communities, it doesn't get talked about enough. Thank you for what you do, and I know Larry's been involved in a lot of charities too, and it's just it's a family. It really is. We try to take care of ourselves, and I learned how to, when not everybody loves our family though. There's a lot of people who
just don't know it.
They don't really want to see the oil and gas industry thrive. So I have to learn to duck and take a few flaming arrows once in a while. But hey, it's worth it. I love the industry and I love the people.
I think a lot of it is to do. Sometimes we don't even know how good we have it. I have this nice belt buckle from the AADE. I was speaking at one of them, and I asked everybody in the room if they really knew the percentage of CO2 in the atmosphere. We always we're making too much CO2. It's real bad. Everything's horrible. There was 110 people in the room, and only 5 people could raise their hands with with confidence to say what it is. And I was like, would you all be shocked to know it's only 0.04%? And most people's mouths were just like, wait a minute, the way they say on TV, like it's doomsday time. You know what I mean? He's like, we're at 0. And I was like, we're pretty much at,
well, and if somebody cares about emissions and and greenhouse gases and emission reduction, our industry, and starting here in West Texas, we have the lowest emissions per barrel produced per
August
MCF
Pfluger
of
was
natural
just
gas
here
produced
speaking
than
about
any
that.
country in the world. And in my previous company, we had survey teams that went all over the world. We trained survey teams from India and China and all different places to measure their amount of methane gas emissions. And I can tell you ours were minuscule compared to other parts of the world. I've been out in the field in over 30 countries. And so if you do care about emissions, you need to be supporting the Permian Basin oil and gas industry, because we're the best at the world at producing these hydrocarbons, these God-given natural resources with as low emission footprint as anyone. And it's not even a close battle. I mean, I got a chance to go speak at several international conferences, but I did a World Bank one at times, and there's all these different speakers, and over 50% of the speakers were for the Permian Basin, because we were doing a better job than anybody else at not doing science projects or white papers, but actually putting equipment out in the field that was significantly reducing emissions going to the atmosphere and capturing it and putting in a pipeline and making energy with it. So I think if people do care about that, they need to be investing in our industry out here, because allowing the world's not going to quit using oil and gas. I mean, you can't make concrete without it. You can't make steel. You can't, people wake up in the morning,
medical devices.
Yeah. For everything you touch, 90% of what you touched since you woke up this morning was made with hydrocarbons, from, you're hitting your alarm clock, to your toothbrush, to your razor, to getting in your vehicle, to the clothes. If you like all these moisture wicking clothes, they're all made with petrochemicals, and if they're made with cotton, that cotton, it's 70% of the cotton grown around the world is made with synthetic fertilizer from natural gas. So it's across every part of our world. It's why we now have 9 billion people that are able to live here, with energy. So the key is, how do you do it effectively, efficiently? And I think our industry is better than anybody.
No question.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. This show, if anybody's got any questions, this is definitely the show to come to. The Pbios 2025, where it's Pbios Live, brought to you by TD Williamson. Check it all out on LinkedIn. And, do you have a website?
www.pbpa.info, pbpa.info. And thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming, gentlemen. And until next time, if you can't make it down to the show, tune into LinkedIn and all the other social media platforms for some of the interviews here. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us.